Hello and welcome to the Moodia Club discussion of Factorio. Joining me in the office today is my good friend Ben. Ben, say hello.
Hi.
And Ryan as well. He's here.
Hello there.
Yeah, so Factorio is kind of a survival crafting game, but the emphasis is more on construction. Um, but it's kind of complicating. What did you guys do? What was the first thing? What was your first like you boot up the game and what was the first thing you did in the game?
I think the first thing I did was I played the tutorial.
How about you, Ryan? Did you also play the tutorial as your first thing?
Yeah, no, I did the tutorial because there was definitely a lot to the game, so it's like I'll just go through all the tutorial scenarios and just see what there is. Although I didn't finish the tutorial, I got to like the last one. And I said, "Well, this train thing is trains, and I'll just start playing my game after that instead." So I just like cut out halfway through the train tutorial.
Yeah, so what do you have any criticisms for the tutorial or like what do you think of it overall?
Oh, it was fine. It was right to the point. I think it got off enough basic information to show you how to get started with it. Um, yeah, actually, yeah, I thought it was good enough. Like, it didn't go all the way to the end of all the tech trees or anything like that. It just got you started really, and then you had to learn after that what you need to do after those steps. So I thought it was good enough for what it was.
Yeah, I also thought the tutorial was great, but the problem I had was when I figured it all out, the it took so long to actually finish the tutorial. Like the machines would be producing the stuff, and it would take me like the while to meet the maximum that the tutorial needed to be completed.
Just make more machines and it's increase the factory size so you can get them faster.
But I had them all like tightly compact. It was a
Yeah.
perfect system, you know? Yeah, so Ben, what did you think of the tutorial overall?
I thought it was pretty good. Went over kind of the important things. I did feel like the tutorial could have been boiled down a little bit personally. Like I feel like parts of it dragged on a little bit long, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Hmm. So what did you guys think was the primary gameplay loop?
I would say the primary gameplay loop is finding out that you don't have the right factory set up for something and then creating it. So, like, you find out you need, like, gear production or whatever, and then
Hmm.
setting up a factory for gear production. I thought it was enjoyable. It didn't quite grab me as much as I kind of hoped it did or hoped it would. But yeah, I think it's a decent gameplay loop. Like I think it's pretty well designed, I guess.
Yeah, so Ben, you've played other like survival craft games. You played Subnautica recently. How does
Yeah.
this Factorio compare to those kind of games?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty different from most survival crafting games. I'd say a big thing is that the survival part, unless you're playing it like in a very specific way, it doesn't really last very long. You kind of get to a point relatively soon where like you don't have to worry about being killed compared to other survival games.
Yeah, what about you, Ryan? What do you think the primary gameplay loop is for this game?
Well, I find the primary gameplay loop is a lot like building a city. You want to plan for expansion because once you get into it, you start to realize you have a huge tech tree. It's going to require a lot of different kinds of materials. You're going to be producing lots of different kinds of materials. So you want to plan how you're going to set up and how you're going to be expanding your factory. Like you won't have it perfect, but it's good to know how to sort things out and how to just sort of keep it organized to a degree. So like what I would do is I would plan for what do I need ores for? Well, I immediately know I can't use ores for anything except for smelting, unless maybe further down the line they did something with ores. So I would just set up areas where I would get smelting going, get everything to fabricate steel plates, iron plates, and then like copper plates, whatnot else. And so I'll have all that stuff going down certain lines through my factory. And then I go, okay, so these are going to have to branch off into multiple different kinds of splitters in order to go start making other kinds of materials. So then I have to bring those lines down to areas where they would split off into other parts of the factory. And so I have to learn to expand for what's going to be produced. And I also was thinking about you're not going to be playing with like one assembler assembling one piece. Eventually, you're going to be expanding, making multiple assemblers in a line to make multiple pieces to catch up with the actual consumption that's going to be using the parts you're producing. So you have to learn a lot about just planning, expanding, and then there is also the point as you're going to expand so much, eventually it's going to get very complicated. And so that's when I played around with the trains to figure out how to go further into the map and then build a separate factory over there where I can just sort of clean up everything, have separate things being built further away, then I can just ship it back to where I need them. So it's a lot about the planning there. Yeah, the battling I don't think that was really much of a concern for me at the time because they didn't evolve that far. I just mostly cleaned up the nest nearby when I needed to because the fighting was pretty easy. Just put some turrets down where you need to run and then just get your like assault rifle and just shoot down the nest around you. So there wasn't too much about surviving there or dying. Maybe further down the line in the game, it might get worse as they evolve, but basics in the beginning was pretty easy there. So that's my thought in gameplay. It's just planning and expanding the factory.
Yeah. So Factorio has a pretty branching tech tree. Did you guys try to? What was your branch of the tech tree that you concentrated on?
I did not specify like a side of the tech tree. I basically did what was easiest at the time, really. So it's like if I have a ton of production of say the first two vials, I forget what they're called, like the red vials and the green vials. I'll just get through all the easy ones. That'll be like literally a second because I had a huge row of labs. So I just get those ones, just quickly get those out of the way so I don't have to worry about them. All the beginning stuff. And then I went down tech trees a little bit. So I went a little bit down the battle one just to get some better gunfire stuff and turrets. And I went, okay, that's good enough for that because I'm not getting attacked at all. So I stopped there. And then I was going down the energy. I don't know if there's actually root names yet, but basically energy. I was going down to the solar panels and going for like storage, stuff like that, so I could store energy because I was looking at how I would go through coal and how I have lots of steam engines and stuff like that, but eventually I'll go through all that coal. So I need to look on renewable energy. So that's why I was looking for batteries and solar panels. So once I got there, I go, okay, now I'm going to start producing all this stuff. And then I started looking into furnaces because I wanted to make sure everything was going to be energy powered. I didn't want anything to be consuming resources much because those are limited. So I was like, okay, I'll go into looking for things that are electrical. So all that stuff I had to convert to electricity. I didn't get to anything that was like electrical furnaces. I guess maybe they're down the line or maybe they don't exist. I don't know.
Yeah, it would make sense that the electrical furnaces like exist, right?
What, like an arc furnace?
Yeah, like an arc furnace, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know if the game has arc furnace or not, but it's just like that would be much better because in this game, just like real life, you have limited resources, and so you either have to go until you run out of the resources, then start finding a new resource somewhere else to go bring all that stuff back to the furnaces, and that's something I didn't want to deal with. Like I could do it, but I'd like to have reliability, so that's why I wanted to go with renewable energy, which would mean renewable source of whatever power for like smelting the metals and stuff like that. So it's just things like that. I was looking for renewability of stuff. But yeah, no, I didn't get too far in the game, so I don't really know what was down the line. I got up to like trains and efficiency modules and stuff like that. I can't remember how far I got.
What kind of potions were you making? Like, did you make the silver potion or yeah, which ones?
Yeah, no, I got up to like the blue vials and that was it. I mean, I'm still going to play the game probably a little more, so I might go further than that. But I'm just doing little bits at a time, not playing long sessions or anything like that.
Okay. Like what kind of like claws were you using? What kind of grabbers? Like, were you using the efficiency grabbers or anything like that?
I don't remember. Like they were just claws.
Yeah, but they got like a special name, right? What is it? What is it?
Inserters. They're inserters. There we go.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So yeah, when we get higher up, you'll get different types of inserters, and that's a good way to like show where you are in the game, I guess, if you can't remember the potion. Yeah. So what about you, Ben? Did you specialize anything in the tech tree?
I spread it out pretty diversely. I did focus a bit more on like logistics and stuff so that I could get things like the paths that go underneath and stuff. I spread it out pretty diversely.
Yeah, I did much the same thing. So did you guys do the mini tutorials? Like after the tutorial, there was like extra tutorials. Did any of you guys try those?
I didn't I didn't see that.
I'm launching a game. I want to see this. What is this? Oh, I see tutorial. Oh, I see. I see. Mini tutorials are short, interactive scenarios that teach some of the more advanced game mechanics. When you start a tutorial, the main game will pause until the tutorial is over. Oh.
Yeah, so they're like basically like puzzle levels
Oh,
almost.
okay.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
What about you, Ben? Um, did you try out these levels?
I did not play any of the other modes.
Yeah, did anybody try the scenarios? Those are also like separate from the tutorial, I think.
Yes, I tried the scenarios. I tried the first scenario with the I forget what it's called. It was just all the different conveyor belt logistic stuff, and it was interesting. Like I got through the first two levels of it, and it was like, okay, this is a little hard, but it's a little interesting. Learning how to use the conveyor mechanisms properly and how sort them out. And then I got to the third one. It was just so big. I was like, I don't want to deal with this. This one is not fun anymore. It was just too much to think about. So that's the only one I did.
Would you try out the puzzle levels if you had a chance?
Yeah, give it a shot. Sounds like good. I'm just playing normal game right now. This is my world.
I got a really crappy world for the first spawn, like when I generated it. Did you guys ever restart your world? I didn't, but I probably should have, huh?
I did start one world just to get an idea of how the free play would work, and it was like, okay, it's looking good. But I didn't set my factory very well, so I really started getting turned off of that. I was like, I'm gonna have to delete everything and redo everything. So after about I think a week after that, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to make a new free play world, and so that's what I did. Made a new free play world, and that's where I am now. It's just like so. I only have done two free play worlds. So yes, I did start a new one.
What about you, Ben? Did you restart your world?
Yeah, I did restart my world once because the closest water supply for making electricity, there was a bug nest closer than that. And I was just like, no, I don't want to travel that far for my electricity. So I redone my world once just to have it a little bit closer. And my second world, the water was still pretty far away from my bulk of my resources, but it wasn't as bad. So
Yeah, my world, the resources were like a mile away from the electricity, but I just had to stick with it, and I built a very long conveyor belt to the resources. I should have probably reset, huh, guys? Anyway, the combat is another major part of the game. We should talk about how combat was integrated in this game. What do you guys think of the combat mechanics in this survival crafting game?
I thought it was like serviceable. Obviously, it's not like a combat driven game. I wouldn't really call combat like a linchpin of the gameplay. So yeah, it was definitely serviceable for what it was. It was I think it was really there mostly just like has like a pressure thing. And for that thought it was okay. I dealt with it by mostly by as soon as I felt that I could, attacking the nests nearby and killing the nest nearby to give myself more breathing room.
Yeah, I would do the same thing. I would just attack the nest nearby. What about you, Ryan? What did you think of the combat in this
The
game?
combat. It was pretty basic and straightforward. Since there is no aiming, I just get my gun, make sure I have ammo and the weapon, hold the spacebar down, and if I want to concentrate on one enemy, I just hover my cursor over top that enemy to concentrate on that one. Like those worms, bloody worms always tried killing me.
Oh, those darn worms.
Yeah, just because they shoot at you and then you just take acid damage after a while. It's just like that's not good.
Yeah, and they'd also leave the acid on the ground. That's terrible.
I totally forgot about that for a while. I killed myself several times that way. um, but yeah, and then I just set up turrets after a while. I was like, find a nest, put turrets around the area. So it's like, okay, if anything goes south, I just run back to the turrets and I have a low safety area because they don't need power. As long as you have ammo with you, you're good. Yeah, no, it was basic for me. I didn't get into any explosives or that, so I don't know how that stuff worked. So starting combat's basic.
What about you, Ben? Did you try the explosives?
No.
I had it unlocked, but I never really used them. Did you guys know that the bugs spawn based on pollution? It's pretty crazy. So if you're polluting a bunch, then they will start like attacking you more frequently and stuff.
I didn't know they were I didn't know they spawn based on pollution. I thought they just evolved based on pollution.
You might be right. I did see more like armored bugs attacking me after I was polluting a bunch. I should have been green like you.
I knew that beforehand, so I did not get to experience discovering that or not. I probably wouldn't have realized that very quickly, though, if I didn't.
Yeah. Did we already talk about this? What was your guys' favorite like construction? Like, what was your favorite thing to do? I guess.
I liked what did they call? Let me see. It was the oil production stuff, like all that stuff. Like you got the pump jack, so you're getting your oil, and then you had the oil refinery and chemical plant. The chemical plant was the one I liked because that took things like liquids and solids. So you had to pipe things in, and then you had to give solid material there in order to get stuff like your plastics and everything like that. So that was one of my favorite items to have. Also, I love chemicals in general, so that's another big thing why I liked it. But yeah, it's just I like the concept of having liquids and solids. Liquids you have to pipe or put into barrels, and then solids are just whatever your gear production and whatnot else, easy stuff to transport or put down on your own. So I like that.
Yeah. What about you, Ben? What was your favorite like building or construction to use in the game?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
That's fair. I also don't really have a favorite building. I guess my favorite thing is the little grabby arms or the little conveyor belts that help. Like I move one thing over here and then it moves to the other place. It just felt so great to move all these materials around and get them into all the right positions and everything. That was what felt really great. That was the best part of the game for me.
You mean you like Factorio for being Factorio?
Yeah, I guess pretty much. Yeah, well, it was like the efficiency of it and everything. Ryan, you played some other Factory games.
Satisfactory. I think RimWorld as well, maybe. I never played that, but I've heard that was another game. Yeah, but Satisfactory was definitely a good Factory game. But yeah, no, I like the Factory concept of this game. I mean, I think that's actually where it starts is Factory before like actually fighting. I feel like the fighting concept was sort of added second, and they just wanted to add that to it after. That's what I feel.
Yeah. How did you guys feel about the music in the game? I found it was kind of forgettable, and it was like, but it was kind of nice. It kind of faded into the background, I guess.
Yeah, I basically agree. Got a decent vibe, but it is a bit repetitive, yeah.
Ryan, what do you think?
It's quiet enough that sort of becomes white noise after a while. So it doesn't overstay its welcome where you're like, I'm getting annoyed with this, it's too overpowering. Like it's just nice. It's nice to have in background. I don't think about it at all. But it doesn't feel like there's no music at all either. So yeah.
All right. So what kind of like design flaw do you think Factorio has? Yeah.
Design flaws?
I guess I mean more like, what are your gripes with the game? You know, like what did you not enjoy about your experience?
I really don't know. Like I will say one of my gripes of this game it's not so much something that's bad, it's just something I personally don't like, is the limited resources we have. So when I'm building a factory, I sort of realize, okay, yeah, it's the limited resources that are a pain here. You know, you're going to be setting a factory, so it's going to keep doing something, but then you realize eventually your factory, like half factory is going to go right down because your resources are going to run out and you're going to have to move all of your miners to another area or find new resource somewhere else. So I feel like if they were going to add something to this, and once again, I haven't went down the entire like trees, so I don't know if they actually have this or not. But if they could have a way to like renew the resources, like say a deep mine or something like that, where you go to the old resources, just mine deeper to get infinite resources or something like that, that would have been nice. That would be nice. I'd like that. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. What do you think about the a design flaw in the game, Ben?
I don't know. Or in the text tree, but yeah, like a late unlock, like bigger resource gatherer thing, so that you could, yeah, I don't know.
Just more stuff later in the game. Is that what you're saying?
I guess. Sure.
Like, you want to collect. Oh, you want to collect resources faster, right? Faster than the the electronic extractor or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have that later in the game. They're called efficiency modules, and you plug them into your extractors, and they go super fast. But they also use more power and all this other stuff. So it's interesting. The module system's interesting in this game. Yeah, my main gripe with it, making things. It just takes a little bit too much time, you know? Like making the research stuff. I wanted to build like a huge research farm, but like to make consistent output of like red and green to power an 8 research facility is like extremely difficult, you know? It's very resource intensive and everything. So it's like I wish there was a way that I could let it would be like easier to do that. Maybe I don't know. I just found later in the game it was like the research was taking a while and everything. So, what was your favorite moment in your game? And I'll start. My favorite moment in my game is when I finally got my electricity set up. I was running on nothing but coal for so long, and I finally got my electricity set up. and it felt like such a like an improvement. I was like, oh my gosh, there's not like an amazing amount of pollution all over the map now. Now it's just most of the map is covered in pollution, you know. What was your favorite moment in the gameplay, Ben?
I think my favorite moment was when I first completed like my first fully like automated loop.
Oh yeah, that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
What about you, Ryan? What was your favorite moment?
It's not so much a favorite moment. It's just I enjoy upgrading things. So I have everything at a certain tier or whatever, and then I just like going, oh, okay, well I've got to the next tier in a tech tree. I'll just go upgrade everything. I've got assembling machine level 2 rather than the first one, so now they're going faster. And I got my better logistics stuff, so I'm doing now fast transport belts as opposed to the normal ones. And it's just like, okay, now things are going faster. Now I can expand and branch off a few more kind of like, I don't know, assembly machines and stuff like that. And just keep expanding the factory. I love seeing that. And also changing out from coal to electricity, like you said, because it's just like, I don't like using up all the coal. Plus there's the pollution, which is causing all these other nests to evolve. So it's just like, yeah, just trying to solve these problems. That's the fun part.
All right. Well, let's see. I'm trying to think of some more questions. Do you guys have any other questions you would like to pose to the forum here?
I don't really know. It's just like we talked about things we liked. We talked about things we didn't like, sort of. Would we like continue playing the game? Maybe like we haven't asked that yet.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good thing. So, do you think you'll be coming back to Factorio? And we'll start with Ryan at the top.
Yeah, I'll keep playing it because I want to actually get further down the tech tree. I want to see what there is in the game, like a little more of it. I am feeling a little bit crap though because my factory is a little bit unorganized and it could be reorganized. And just having to rebuild all that's going to be a bit of a pain. So that is a little cramping point where it's like I don't really want to do that. And that is one of the things that stops me from playing more of this game. Actually, at times it's like I'll play for half an hour or an hour, and then it's just like, oh, I know there's going to be a huge thing that I'm going to have to do, so then I just put that off till later. But I will get back to it, and I'll keep playing bits and pieces at a time just to see how far I go. Yeah, and that's me. Also, we should say would be like replayability. We haven't talked about replayability yet, so we'll do that after.
Yeah. What about you, Ben?
I will probably pick it back up later, but I don't think I'm going to continue playing it right now.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same mind. I would want to like make like a world where everyone's like playing together. I think that would be good, you know? And then we could be like, I want more efficient weapons because I'm going out and taking my Jeep out and hunting these bugs across the map. And then they're like, and then people are like, okay, well, but I want more efficient this, and then it'd be like everybody can like vote on like what they want the research to be and all that stuff. I don't know if that's actually how it works, but I would enforce that or something. I don't know, but I think it would be pretty fun to play with other people, and then people would go away from the game and then come back, and then the factory's completely changed as one person's like torn up half of it, and like everything's run out of coal.
I can see that happening.
Like, what's going on? What did you do to my monument I built with the walls? And they're like, too bad. I had to move it. It was on top of resources. Precious resource.
That is what happened to Minecraft too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think playing with other people would be that would be the thing that I would want to try. Maybe I'll try like some of the like the puzzly parts, but I feel like the base experience, I've kind of gotten it, you know? It feels like the civilization kind of tech tree. Did you guys see the victory condition, by the way? Did you guys see the rocket on the tech tree?
I saw it, but I didn't do it. I didn't get up to that.
I didn't see it. So I didn't even know how I was supposed to attack into the rocket.
You have to get like all of the different vials, all the way up to the space vial, which is the white vial.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to go all the way down the tree there. Yeah, I'm just trying to find out the tech tree right now, so let's see. Oh, I don't see it now.
Yeah, I was looking for it. I wish they would just put that like on your screen and say you have to make all the different files. And then
I do have a gripe for the tech tree, is that it doesn't allow you to see the whole tech tree. You can only like click on whatever is on the left list of text, and then it shows you that part of the tree, which doesn't show you all the tree.
Yeah. That was pretty annoying. Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
They should just organize it. They should organize, as one big tech tree would have looked nice. Yeah, one big tech tree, just like go down there and see what the paths are. That'd be easier.
Yeah, but you play Path of Exile, so that tech tree is kind of enormous.
That tech tree is a big circle. This one here these are specific paths. Like you are splitting and then they're going back together and stuff like that. Like I'm looking at the tech tree right now and it looks fine. They just need to expand it a bit. It's all going down in one direction. It's not going roundabout loops, really.
I guess so. That's true. Yeah. And you were going to talk about longevity, right? So do you want to start with that as well?
Me? Oh, sure. Yeah. So replayability of the game. Like, do we think it's replayable after you finish, like, say, the free play campaign, or do you think maybe our scenarios are giving it more replayability factors, or like, would you play it again after you finish the game? That's what I'm thinking about. I guess I'll go first there. I honestly don't know if it has much replayability factor, because once you finish a tech tree, and then you finish the game there, you won the match, what is there new to discover? You've done all the tech, you've built your factory. Do you really want to build a new factory from scratch and then do all that all over again? Like, I don't think that'd be me. Like, I just enjoyed playing it through free play, and I think I'll be done after I finish free play. What about you guys?
I can see the appeal of, like, if you really enjoyed it and, like, wanted a bit more than, like, playing different scenarios. I could see where the replayability there would be, but for me personally, yeah, I don't see myself, once I beat the free play, I don't think I would go back.
I would go back with friends. I would go back with a person who hasn't played the game before and watch them, like, fumble around and be dumb and be like, haha, look at this person. They're trying to kill a bug with a pistol.
So you just laugh at them, be like, ha ha ha, I totally wasn't that, as you probably were.
Yeah, as I ran up to a bug with like no, I still run up to bugs with like no ammunition and a pistol, and like I can just get to my body, and if I get to my body, I can get all my precious stuff back. Ah.
Oh, I've done that too. Except for I do get the rifle and some turrets, stuff like that. But I underestimate the ammo consumption. That's what I underestimate, and I always run out of ammo. I have like 50 like sacks cartridges. I'm just like, oh, I use all 50 up. It's like, great. I only got through 2 nests, and there's still a bunch more here.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we kind of done it. We kind of done a meeting, guys. Unless somebody has some other quick questions before we go on to our final judgments.
Does this game have mods? I think it had mods.
Oh, it probably has mods. That would probably help the longevity as well. Yeah, so I guess with mods it could be more longevitous, but mods also like most of the time break the balance of the game, which is like
if you play it like that, like if people do the mods right, you can look at them and go, okay, this one's overpowered. It says it so here. Whether you want it or not, you do whatever. And then there are some that are they try balancing out and go, okay, these mods are all balanced. You can download those and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's we need more things than just like stone and copper and iron. We need the entire periodic table of elements.
They have uranium too.
Uranium, yeah, and oil.
Nuclear.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and oil.
But like we need the entire periodic table of elements and all their
so
compounds.
Diversity. So just have more diversity in the resources. So you have it make much more complex factories. So it'll be a lot more work making it bigger. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta produce these things, the chemical things. You're like, okay, we gotta put these molecules together. And like, yeah.
Oh, I have a question for you. Do you think the game would benefit from having a second plane? So you know how we're all doing our top-down, one plane kind of game? Well, there's like, things in a way like cliff face set. But if they decide to make something like, say, stairs or ladders to go up, and then it just sort of like fades out the plane you were in, and have a new level of like a factory, do you think it'd benefit from that?
I'm not sure. I think it would make it more complicated, but I'm not sure if it would be better. It'd be more compact, but space isn't at a premium. The maps are huge, right? So
they are very huge. Like I couldn't discover the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that that would really benefit how they set it up as it is. Like there's games like Satisfactory where it's like fully 3D, and so you can build up and down and stuff, and it's a first person basically version of this. Yeah, I don't think in the way that they've made it that a second plane, I don't think would particularly benefit it.
Fair enough.
All right, I guess we'll do our the final judgments. So Ben, what was your rating for the game, and a quick blurb about why you feel that way?
I'd probably give it a 3. I thought that it was made pretty well, but it just didn't quite grab me again as much as I hoped it would. And
Why do you think it didn't grab you, by the way?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think just time of getting things completed. That's what really grabbed me. It took me out of it. Like I was like, I gotta play this game for another 20 minutes for my tech to finish researching. I was like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So
that might be for me as well. Yeah, where it's just like a bit too much downtime.
Oh, it's the opposite for me in that sense. Like my tech tree went by pretty fast, like when I was doing things. Because I made my factory specifically for the tech tree, so I had a lot of different kinds of machines for making all the stuff. Like I think about 20 labs going with just all the stuff there, so it would just fly by when I researched things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't able to like get that working because I everything this darn my tech was so far away from everything else, and it was impossible to set it up completely. I would have to I'd have to tear it down and then rebuild it. I think that was the main gripe I had with it as well, is that tearing down and rebuilding is not fun. After you built a connected network, you don't want to tear it down. But I would still give this one. I think I'd give it a 4, even though I didn't like. I bet if I was playing it with friends and stuff, this would be like a complete game, and I wouldn't have to worry about the combat. Maybe I'll give it back down to a 3, because that there is the game is balanced in such a way that you can get stuck, if you refuse to change your mind and stuff. So, and you could get a bad spawn like I did and just like have to work with it. But strong 3, light 4. That's where I'm at. What about you, Ryan?
It's a hard one here because the game itself, it feels like it's actually a good game. Like I think it does itself just. It's a factory building game, so I think it looks good there. And for a factory building game, it seems pretty good there. Like I want to say a 4 to 5. However, I'd play it as long as I'd probably play maybe, I guess, maybe a 3 or a stronger 3. I'd play it as, but it feels like it has a lot of stuff you can do in it. Like I didn't feel like I was getting bored in it. It was just me getting and the overwhelmedness I found was only with the fact I built my factory inefficiently, and it's like I'll have to do some editing in it. But that's mostly on my fault for not planning it. Yeah, I don't know if that's like really the player or the game's fault for figuring out how to set up your own factory, because it's just one of those things where it's like, well, the player can easily set up a factory that's going to just like eat shit, but.
Yes.
I don't know if I can blame that on the game, because there's a lot of things in this game you have to do, like make lots of different kinds of conveyors, lots of different assemblers, so it is going to get very cluttered, but I don't know how they can fix that.
You know?
Exactly. The player could easily unclutter it if they knew how to do it. So it is on skill at that point, on can the player figure out how to plan a factory properly. So,
or do you just look up tutorials and look at how other people have done it? And it's just Minecraft 2.0 again.
Fine. Yeah, looking for other people's stuff.
The wiki 2.0.
Yeah. So I can't really blame the factory on that clutterness. It is entirely your player based as their skill. So I want to give it a 4, but because I'm not that skilled at making the factory really efficient, that's where I'd play it as a 3. So yeah, I guess strong 3, light 4, I guess.
Yeah, we have the same problem with the game. We're just not good enough at the game.
I would suggest it to other people. I'd say, go try it out and see if you like it or not, kind of thing.
Join the Moodia club, and it's in the file share.
Like that, yeah.
And they're like, yeah, definitely, we'll do that one thing. All right, sweet. So now everybody's back in rotation. Isn't that great? Hurrah!
Oh, wow.
So so the only people that were left on the list were Carl and Noah. So hopefully they try the game this month, and we have a very condensed list now. Oh. Actually, now that I'm looking at this list, okay, well, this will be interesting. We'll see if we'll have to talk about this list for a few secs.
Okay.
Because that happened. So I guess, like, we technically re-rolled, right? So it's technically allowed to happen twice in a row. But if you want to like pass it to the next person on the list, I would be fine with that because I'm the next person on the list. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I'm fine passing it this time.
Okay, sweet. I just literally randomized this list today, and I thought like Matthew or some other people are gonna show up to the meeting, so I was like, uh-oh. So now I gotta look at my games, my list of games. Have you guys all played Undertale?
Yes.
I watched an entire playthrough of it.
I think most people in the group have played it already.
Okay, let's see. Have you guys? Path of Exile just had a new update come out. You guys ever? I've been wanting to try Path of Exile for a while, but
I haven't tried it yet.
I played it a lot before, and then I played it with Carl, not with Carl because we're on different servers, but he kept talking to me the entire time through it because he likes talking about Path of Exile constantly.
Yeah, so maybe we'll let Carl recommend that one. I don't know. I'm not sure. Man, this is difficult. All right, I have to go to my randomizer this time because we also have Blasphemous, but let's see. Wait, I should look at my DRM free games I got actually. Give me a sec.
Why don't you find a game that you haven't played or a game that you want to play with others? How about something like that?
Oh, like a multiplayer game?
Oh, I just mean something that you haven't played or something that you'd play still, like you'd play again.
Oh yeah. I've got a ton of games like that. Ooh, what do you guys think of Divinity Original Sin?
I played it. I played a bit of it, and I think I did twice, but I never finished the game. I don't know why I stopped playing it.
You guys want to try that? That's like a like RPG. And I think it's also multiplayer as well.
It is multiplayer. I don't know if it's more than 2-player. I know it's at least 2-player though.
I think it's only 2-player.
Okay.
Okay.
I think. I've never played it myself though.
We also
Yeah, it's
have,
a fine game.
Yeah, we also have, I'm thinking either Divinity, we also have Dragon Age, or we can also try BattleTech. What do you guys think of those?
I need to look
Ooh,
those up.
Okay. Because I'm looking at my DRM free games, and those are all pretty decent. Oh, wait a second. Duh, I already knew what I was going to recommend. Sorry, guys. It just took me a while to find it. All right. Let's see if it's on sale or anything. Okay, I figured it out. It's not on sale, but it's only $14.50. So
What game is it?
it is 80 days. It is you try to get around the world in 80 days.
Is it like a puzzle game? Story rich, choices matter, strategy. Okay.
It's a strategy, story-based game. You go around the world. Yeah, you try to go around the world in 80 days. Yeah, that's,
That sounds like an interesting game. I'm
Yeah.
down for that.
it's you gotta read text in this game though, guys.
No skipping tutorial. Skip.
No, it's mostly reading text. It's almost like it's kind of like a choose your own adventure book almost. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty dank. So what do you guys think? 80 days?
Yep, I'm down.
down.
How about you? Okay.
All right, sweet. So I'm going to use my recommendation to make 80 days my recommended game. All right, awesome. Okay, well, good meeting everyone. And I guess we'll just say bye-bye.
Goodbye.